like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Confirmed team news: Arsenal versus a team known as Aston Villa has dropped, and you know very well when it drops what we do. We obviously come live and we call in for your predictions in here. And is it gonna be an Arsenal win, a draw, or what we call Aston Villa win? So drop into what we call the live chat and really throw in your thoughts. Vote. And after the 20 minutes I'm gonna be live here, I'll be dropping it huge and I'll be letting you know who said what and who came up here and really gave us the right prediction. Smash like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rokani David is my name. Now, very important to note that before I came here, I really did a live video and I really let you know about how Benjamin White is with the team. And I hinted onto one thing that was really more important, that if you see Ben White in the team, and they're not talking about Julian Timber traveling with the team, there might be a mind game that Mikel Arteta is playing. And indeed, he was playing a mind game. And guess who is into the starting 11 for the club of Arsenal? Here we go. It's David Raya, Julian Timber, Saliba, Gabriel Magalhaes, Hinkapie, Zubimendi, Merino Miguel, Odegaard, Bukayo Saka, Trossard, and Victor Gyökeres. That is the starting 11 for the club of Arsenal. The bench has Kepa Arrizabalaga, Ben White, Gabriel Jesus, Ebelechi Eze, Martinelli, Nogard, Madueke, Kai Havertz, Lewis, Miles, Skelly. That is the starting 11 for Arsenal and the bench. Now that means those who are injured are Declan Rice, Mosquera, who else? Rice, Mosquera. I think those are the injured players for the club of Arsenal so far. So they're really trying to work upon their injuries and see to it that all really goes on well as planned. So Arsenal is having almost all their players here, and I think that's the best way you would want to enter the year of 2026. If you have all your players fully fit, that means you can come in through and really do a very huge engagement in there for you. So from there, we obviously get to the other side of the story, and it's the visitors. They are having Martinez, right? Oh, I need to shift something a little bit. Photo, where are you? All right. They're having Martinez, former Arsenal player, Bogard, Konsa, Lindelof, Digne, Onana, Tielemans, Jordan Sancho, Rogers. He's the most informed player in the Premier League right now, Morgan Rogers. Eddie Buendia scoring the winner against Arsenal at the Villa Park. Then Oli Watkins also there leading the line. You know, a man who scores against Arsenal almost every time he finds them. The substitutes include Marco Bizzotti, James Wright, Ian Marston, Andreas Garcia, Leon Roth, George Hummings, John McGinn, Daniel Malen, Jamaledon Jimo Aloba. So that is the starting 11 on the bench of Aston Villa. Not so? So that is it. And now you know who is where and what they're gonna hit to do. And let's get straight into the big story of the day, and it's all about the formations that these managers are going to hit to drop. I'm not going to be here for long because we've talked a lot about this, and we just have to let you know who is in and who is out and read out your predictions, and then we wait for that. So Arsenal's gone in for a 4-3-3 system. David Raya in between the stitches, Julian Timber right back, Hinkapie, left back, and I told you that he might start or Lewis Kelly might start. But for Hinkapie, he has a perfect cross on him, right? And he's really very solid. He's really good defensively and also good going forward. And today, we might see some pretty good crosses. Looking out for the number 9 of Arsenal, that is Victor Gyökeres. Left-sided centre-back, Gabriel Magalhaes. Right-sided centre-back, William Saliba. Then Martin Zubimendi comes in through to play as a CDM. Martin Odegaard, number 10. Mikel Merino, box-to-box midfielder coming in for Declan Rice. Bukayo Saka, right forward. Leandro Trossard, left forward. And Victor Gyökeres leading the line for the club of Arsenal. So, that's the starting 11 for the club of Arsenal. And let's get to the starting 11 for the side of Villa. Right? Aston Villa. Where are you at? Villa. Villa is going for which system? Villa is going in for a 4-2-3-1 with Martinez, Dibu in goal, Bogarde as the right back. Remember, Matty Cash is out, Oh, I even forgot to change my fantasy league, but I think I can. Games have already started. Digne, left back. Konsa and Lindelof in the central defense. Tielemans and Onana in there. They've gone ahead to drop Tielemans a little bit back into the double pivot because it was supposed to be Kamara. Then Eddie Buendia playing as a central attacking midfielder. Jadon Sancho right forward, meaning that Hinkapie is going to be facing Jadon Sancho and he's one of those players to watch out because when he really hits form, he's really deadly. And it's been long since he has not been starting games for Aston Villa. But the moment you see the manager dropping him into start, that means there is something good about him. Morgan Rogers, left attacking midfielder, and Oli Watkins leading the line for the club of a team known as Aston Villa coming into this beautiful encounter in there. So that's what you're really having in there. But I know the battles. Saliba facing Oli Watkins and a player called Saliba and Magalhaes versus Oli Watkins. Good one. Hinkapie taking on Jadon Sancho. Another good battle to watch. Then Bogarde taking on Leandro Trossard. Heated up. Digne taking on Bukayo Saka. Konsa and Lindelof facing off with the player known as Victor Gyökeres, and the midfield battle to me is really going to be very interesting as the mid three of Arsenal that has Odegaard, Mikel Merino, and Martin Zubimendi seeing off Eddie Buendia, Tielemans, and Amadou Onana. So we wait and see how that will happen and how things will pan out in that particular fixture. But to me, something important that I want to discuss is all about the bench. I think this game will be won by the bench. Guys, Arsenal's bench is really getting solid. They're having Ben White, Gabriel Jesus, Ebelechi Eze, Gabriel Martinelli, Christian Nogard, Noni Madueke, Kai Havertz, and Miles Lewis-Kelly. Now, the manager has a lot of options. He will be spoiled for choice. And he told us that this is the headache he wants most as a manager of Arsenal, to have most of his players readily available. Not so? Now, this is what you're really having in here. Jesus, Eze, Martinelli, Noni Madueke, Kai Havertz, all those are attack-minded players. How will the manager juggle up with them? We wait and see how things really pan out. But it's going to reach a time when you are not going to get into the starting 11 of Arsenal squad if all the players are available. Because imagine if Rice was available and Mosquera. You understand? So that's what Arsenal is really having. Tough bench. When you go to the side of Aston Villa, John McGinn, Andreas Garcia, Jordan Malen, Jimo, Ian Maston, Marco Bizot, George Hemmings, Leon, George Ruth, and James Wright. I think for me, there are three that come off the bench and obviously change the game. That is John McGinn, Malen, and Ian Marston. Left back, but offensively, he's really deadly. He's really deadly. So, we wait and see how things pan out at the Emirates Stadium, where this game of football is going to be played. And that's what I had for you guys. Let me read your comments and we call it quits because I've been here before discussing all this, so there is nothing much that you're obviously going to be talking. Lamine says it's an Arsenal win 2-1. That's the prediction I called in for in the match preview. Chekwoti Ivan, Arsenal 2. Arsenal 2-1 win. Lawrence says 2-0 for the club of Arsenal. Robert says Arsenal's midfield is light. It has software players. And I think it is really, because even Martin Odegaard, who you could term known to be really that workaholic player, he really runs a lot. It's all about covering huge spaces, you know, and trying to really win the midfield battle, right? Edward, 3-1 Arsenal win. Then Inzico Cosmas 3-1 Arsenal win. So let's end the poll and see how you guys have gonna hit to vote. Because I'm rushing to the United Matters channel to obviously do the match day live that side. 94% have gonna hit to call in an Arsenal win. 6% have gone to call in for a draw. Villa have gotten 0 people to say they can obviously come and collect 3 points at the Emirates Stadium. And let's wait. In the next 30 minutes, the game of football will be on. And when it's done, I come with the match day live. Thank you guys for watching through. Arsenal win this time. Ma zero pista. Say so. So guys,